Good day everyone. We made a video going over how we suggest to deal with a moose after you've taken it on a fly-in trip with us. We're going to go over some of the items that we suggest everyone brings and what we feel is the best and easiest way to deal with the animal. Not only one is it easy to get it in the boat and get it back to camp, but there's a couple key things in the video. One, you get the hide off as quick as possible. Getting the hide off is going to get that meat as cool as quickly as possible and be the best thing for your meat. Two, we don't want to cut any bones. You'll see in the video we didn't cut any bones. The only bone that we did cut is the breastbone. Normally we don't, but I just really didn't feel like getting too dirty, so I just cut that, and you're not reaching up in the cavity to get the windpipe. So we didn't use anything but a knife for this, a couple different types of knives. This is the one we suggest, is the Outdoor Edge Razor interchangeable blade knife. You can do your whole moose with that. That's all you need. You'll see in the video I didn't have this, I actually left it at camp. So I did have the Havalon. The Havalon isn't quite as nice. The blade is a little bit more flimsy, where the Outdoor Edge has this other piece and the way the blade goes in is much stronger. So we definitely suggest the Outdoor Edge over the Havalon. The Havalon's also a much bigger knife. I don't prefer it, but like I say, I forgot it that day at camp, so I didn't have it. Even the one bone that we did cut was done with just this serrated saw blade that goes on to the Havalon. Again, we never normally do that. That was just the first time we've actually done it. So again, that is all you need to do your whole moose. For one, it's a lot less equipment to take with you in the boat, in the canoe, however you are going around. And the reason why we don't want to cut bones is we put our quarters in the game bags. These are good quality game bags. They're not that expensive. You can get them at Walmart. Canadian Tire, I believe, has them too. These bags you can actually clean, wash them, put a bit of bleach in there. They're like brand new. The reason why we don't want to cut any bones is if you cut a bone, it's going to leave a sharp edge. One, you don't want that bone fragments on your meat. Two, the sharp edge is going to cut your game bag. Cut your game bag, that's the first place that bugs are going to get into your meat. So good game bags without cutting the bones, your meat's gonna be the most protected that way. We also suggest pepper, multiple packs like this. Put some pepper on the meat while it's still wet prior to going in the game bag. That also helps keeping bugs away. So one other thing, pack board, okay, pack board backpack. As you can see, this pouch comes off, and then you've got this pack frame. So if you shoot and your moose goes back in the bush 100 yards, 200 yards, 25 yards, you take your quarter, you put it on here, tie it on, throw it on your back, and go. Very easy. Processed many moose this way, solo hunts. It's a great way to carry your meat. Trying to do it with two poles and ropes and stuff, that's just a swinging chunk of meat that is very, very awkward. You put it on your back and go, and you can walk forever with it. You don't even really know it's there. So in this video, the moose that I did shoot is a younger bull, 2.5-year-old bull, so it's nice. That's what we look for, and very easy to deal with. But we've done it with large bulls as well. Obviously, it's a little bit heavier and a little bit more work to move things around, but you can still do it. Again, this was by myself, so with a bunch of guys, to help hold meat and hold a leg here and there, makes things a lot easier. So we suggest doing it this way. We don't suggest trying to put the whole moose in a boat or anything like that. This is very easy. Again, less than 3 hours. So it's quicker to deal with it on the spot, get the hide off, get it in the bags. Then when you get back to camp, you just hang it up and you're done. It's easier on equipment, it's easier on the people, the body, everything to do it this way. You'll see in the video we used what's called a Mazdam rope puller. It's like a come along with a rope instead of a cable. We prefer that. You're not sitting there resetting cables all the time. You know, with a standard come along, a 5-foot come along, you're gonna get 1.5 foot of pull by the time you get all the slack out of everything. So a 50-footer is lots. You can get 25s, a 100-footer, but the 50-footer is really good. So these are just some of the items on our list for moose hunt. Have a look, watch the video. You know, feel free to ask us any questions about what we do. You know, it's in the video you'll see it's, you know, the animal's somewhat still in the water. You know, a common scenario where they drop in the water. You know, they always like to run into the water. Part of the reason we think is because, you know, the echo from the tree line, from the shot, they feel that the danger is on the tree line, so they like to run into the water. But you'll see with what we have in the video, or what I have in the video, it's very easy to deal with. So hope you enjoy the video, and feel free to ask us any questions you got, and look forward to having you guys on a hunt. Just want to mention a couple other things before we get into the video. In Ontario now, we don't have to fix our tag to the quarter if we're keeping the meat with us, so that's why the tag isn't on the animal at the time of quartering it up. I'm not a professional producer or anything, so bear with me on the camera angles. You know, I just had a camera there and I was trying to do the best I could with what I had. I don't have tripods, I don't have camera equipment of any kind. Just trying to find a way. I rested it in the canoe on my gear for the most part. So yeah, just bear with me on that. And one last thing in Ontario, you got to keep the gender parts attached to one of the hindquarters. We have a very unique way of doing that. You'll see in the video how we do it. It's going to be the first thing to stink, start to go bad. So why have that on your meat? But it still has to be attached. So have a look and let us know if you got any questions.
Okay, so we're gonna do a video here of how to deal with your moose on a fly-in trip once you've taken the animal. So normal scenario, moose seem to always drop in the water. So we're gonna get it pulled over to shore here somewhere, and then we'll go over getting it out. Now this is a solo hunt, so everything is done with just myself. Okay, one of the items on the list at Boreal Forest Outfitters we tell all of our hunters to bring with them is a Mazdam rope puller. It's basically a come along, but with 20, 50 or 100 foot rope. So you're no longer pulling an animal 5 feet at a time. Show you how it works. I can't set it up right now, so I'll just... So it's basically just a come along. Basically just pull away. Slack a little bit once in a while. Tension. Again, I'm 100% by myself, so this is all stuff that can be done with one person, just that much better if you got more. With the reel come along, obviously I would have reset a couple times already. Okay, so we've got the animal up enough. Again, I'm by myself, so it's kind of hard to get it all the way out. I could have kept fighting with it, but I figured might as well get the weight of the sack out. So I got him kind of tied off to a little tree here. And I'm gonna do a little bit of skinning and then come back and we'll go over how we suggest packing it up. We got these good game bags. They can be washed, okay? Reusable. Use them every year. Okay, so we got some hide off the front and rear quarters. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this leg apart at the joint here. Okay? The reason why we do it at the joint is because then we don't cut any bones that will rip our game bags. Okay, so now we've got the leg split and everything smooth. Nothing's gonna rip your bag. Ripping your bag, gonna be the first way to let bugs in. Now, we've got this skin back. We're gonna come down. So you do have to leave the junk attached to one side. We're leaving it attached to the other side. Okay. So we're just going to follow the pelvic bone down. And again, working with the idea of not cutting any bones. Follow the pelvic bone all the way down. Try and not let the leg go in the water. Bugs and obviously, if you got more guys, it's that much easier. Or gals. There. Now, okay, so into the front quarter now. We got the leg taken off of the joint, so we got no sharp edges. We got a hole here. This is a little bit of damage there. We reload our own ammo. There's 300 sharp mag. Almost through and through, but stopped under the skin. So we got a little bit of clean up around that wound. There's really nothing there. Okay, so we're just gonna separate the front quarter at the shoulder blade. Okay, pretty close to coming off there. Pull a little bit more hide back here. Now, these are the times it's a little more difficult by yourself, but you can usually let the weight do the work for you. Just find the top of the shoulder blade. So we're basically off. So I get the game bag ready. Okay. Get this up here so it doesn't fall in the lake. A little more cleanup to do here. We'll do that when we get back. Take a bit of this crap off here first. Blood in that. We also tell everyone to bring pepper. It's gonna hang for a couple days while you're in the bush. Throw some pepper on it before you put it in the game bags. That helps keep the bugs out. Most important thing is keeping the bugs out. Okay, so that front quarter is now detached. Knife out of the way. Slip the game bag over the end. That's it. That's the front quarter off. Okay. Now, I'm gonna just clean this up a little bit, and then we'll go over what to do with the ribs. Okay, so I just snuck the tenderloin out on this side. I'm gonna take the back strap off here before I do the ribs here. And again, this is how we suggest to do it. I'm going to fly in, keep weight down the best care of your meat with minimal tools. Do a whole moose with just a knife. There. So we got back strap, tenderloin from this side are now out. So we get another game bag. We typically have 6 bags. 1 for each quarter, 1 for the back straps, tenderloins, and 1 for miscellaneous neck meat, rib meat, that kind of stuff. So, let me just throw it in the bag. We don't suggest deboning, only because your meat just ends up sitting in a pool of blood when you debone it. Put it in coolers. But these bags, as long as there's not too much tenderloin in there, we'll clean that up later. There, so that's backstrap and tenderloin from 1/2. Now, the ribs. This is where it's kind of like filleting a fish. Okay, you get started at the back here. You got this chunk to hold on to, and then you just fillet down each rib bone. If you want to bring the ribs, that's fine too, but we just grind our rib meat. So we choose to do it this way. See the idea? Just keep peeling it back, pulling. That hide off quick. It's already nice and cool, this meat. Normally we do 4/4 and come back for the ribs and stuff, but by myself, once I flip it over once, I don't want to have to flip it back. Okay, and then we're into shot. So we're just gonna collar there. There, we got a big chunk of meat from the ribs. Get another game bag, show you what the guys looks like, guys, and there's a rib meat in that bag, put on that side, and what we have left. So that's it. Quarters are gone. rib meat's gone, I'll pull a bit of meat out of the neck there. I'm gonna do that and then flip it over. In Ontario, we have to keep the genitals attached to the hind quarter. So what we suggest you do, first thing it's gonna stink or go bad, obviously, is this package. So what we do, take it off, keep it, don't take it right off. You skin it back with a piece down to the joint that you're going to take apart, okay? So it's still attached to that quarter. Now what you can do, put this in a bag, you tie it up on the outside of your game bag, inside a grocery bag or something, and it's not against your meat. It's never gonna, like I say, the first thing to spoil is going to be that. It's going to start to stink. Why let that be on your meat? And flip them over and get on the other side. Okay, so this side, now that it's over a bit, I was able to get some of the back strap out of the way for taking this other hind quarter off. Okay, got it basically set the same way as I did the other one. Okay, now we're just gonna go in along the pelvic bone here, follow that in. Stuff off here. Find the joint, see the ball there. I don't know if you can see that or if the canoe's in the way. There, it's starting to fall. The weight will do all the work. Follow the joints and the bones. And there. That quarter's off. Again, this is a time where it's much easier to get someone else give you a hand, but you don't. So you can get it up and get it started into the bag. Stand it up. Let me clean it all up. We'll get all that stuff off. So, as you can see, again, hind quarter with our junk attached. We're not going to put that in our bag. We're going to leave that on the outside. We'll get a grocery bag, tie that on with the grocery bag, tie it on up here on the outside. We don't have to attach our tags anymore. If the moose is staying with you, obviously it's staying with me at the moment, so that's why the tag's not attached. There. That's that quarter off. So, as you can see, there's not much left here. Everything's pretty cleaned up. We're gonna get the other front quarter off, and yeah, get everything in the canoe and start heading back to camp. Well, almost done here. Just doing the last set of ribs. Like we did on the other side, fillet it just kind of like you're filleting a fish. Just keep pulling it off. Leaning downhill right now, so the meat is doing the work of pulling for me. Just keep going. So we're getting close to the shot here. Again, Sue and I'll clean this all up when we get home. Unfortunately, Sue and our daughters, Caitlin and Chloe, can't be here right now. Okay, so we're at the shot spot here, so we're gonna end it right there. Again, we'll get this all cleaned up when we get home. If it was gonna hang in the bags for any out here for any amount of time, we'd clean this up right away, but it'll be home tomorrow and put in the cooler. We can work on it there. That's it. We got 6 bags of meat. We've got 1 stripped down carcass. Okay everybody, this is the end. We're all done here now. This is how we at Boreal Forest Outfitters suggest you quarter your moose on a fly-in trip with us out of Nakina. Least amount of weight to fly out, the least amount of scraps left. Get all the meat out of the neck, off the ribs, quarters in nice little bags to fly out, and it's the best way that we've found to disassemble it and get it out. One other thing we suggest you always have is a pack board. That way if this guy would have ran up in the bush, again, even if you're by yourself, you can make it happen. Throw it on your back and pack it out. So I just looked back to verify the time. It was 4:38 when I pulled the trigger. It is now 7:26. So less than 3 hours. By myself, I was able to disassemble this, get it cleaned up into bags. A couple more minutes here cleaning up and stuff before I head back to camp. It's getting close to dark. I've probably got half an hour to get back before dark. 8 o'clock, it'll be black. So if you got any questions, give us a call, send us an email. If you want to book a hunt, Boreal Forest Outfitters out in Nakina. Wish everybody the best with their hunts. Good luck. Thank you.